Hi everybody, it's Brett Berryhill with Off the Field Performance Coaching, and I'm here in the studio just hard at work on our third online course that's going to be out next month. But I got to thinking, and I wanted to leave everybody with kind of a little secret that I'm working on right now. I'm going to put it in the course, but I want to share it with you because I know there's a lot of athletes right now that are struggling with this, and they're struggling with triggering events that invoke an emotional response. And they tend to blame the event and they lose their control over what they have in their control. They just don't think they have any control, as a matter of fact. And what I really want to communicate is the process that I'm trying to teach athletes is that once the triggering event happens, whether that's a bad call by an umpire or referee, maybe you're playing poorly and you just can't figure out why. Maybe you don't feel right. Maybe you're not even starting or the coach is getting onto you for an error you made. All of those events are what we call triggering events because it triggers some type of emotional response for you. But here's the thing you need to know, and here's the secret, that each of those triggering events actually invokes a response that you tell yourself. And that's the key. You've got to listen to what you're telling yourself as the triggering event happens or after the triggering event happens, because that's what's causing the emotional response that maybe sends you down a spiral and leads to more things happening that are honestly within your control that you could be preventing. So we have to understand that a triggering event is not the cause. The triggering event actually has no power over you whatsoever unless you give it that power, because we're not hearing the thought we're telling ourselves when we encounter that triggering event. So that's the key, and that's what I'm telling most of these athletes is it's not them, it's you. It's your thought that you're having as a result. So you've got to put some context around that triggering event. Once we do that, once we understand it's the thought we're telling ourselves as a result of that event, then and only then can we analyze and upgrade our thoughts and move on to a more productive thought process and controlling what we control. We can control our response to that triggered event to make it more productive, and then moving on and creating momentum to where that triggered event doesn't affect the next one, meaning that bad call doesn't affect the next play. That bad game doesn't affect the next one. So that's what I want you guys to understand. That's what we're going to be putting in our courses here. In about a month or so. It's called How to Be a More Mentally Tough Athlete. So I want you guys to really think about your triggered events, and then not so much about the triggered event once it happens, but what you're telling yourself as a result of it. So go out there, own your thoughts, and be great. Take care.